So today we're going to be talking about something which I call the I'll be happy when concept. So this is something that's really changed my life completely, transformed it. It's probably one of the biggest mindset shifts I've had, and it's helped me with my ADHD brain that was constantly seeking happiness, peace, or something in the future. And it's also the biggest thing I see impacting my clients. So that's why I wanted to share it today. So for me, it sounded like this. I'll be okay when I've got things under control. I'll be okay when I'm organised. I'll be safe when my business is built. I'll be peaceful when I find a meditation I can do every day, which is very ironic, isn't it? The very nature of doing meditation is that we, trying to find the right one in order to find peace. It just carried on and on. So each time I thought I'd finally arrived, the goalpost would move. And I just want to, even add another thing to that about the goalpost, because when we have ADHD, we never feel we even get to the goalpost, let alone them moving. So it's kind of this just real conundrum that we put ourselves in. We set the bar so high and then we feel that we're failing at getting that. So we're constantly trying to get to this place in the future, but then feeling that we're never even getting anywhere near it. So it is really setting ourselves up for a lot of anxiety and dissatisfaction, really, in general. So I realised that I was living my life in the future, always trying to get somewhere, always chasing the next point of safety or peace, instead of just actually being here. And the truth I discovered is that we don't need to get anywhere. We already have all the happiness, all the peace, all the safety we could ever need. Psychologically, right now, in this present moment. But we're all so busy searching for it out there, in relationships, with money, with success, approval from other people, that we just miss the fact that it's already within us. You might be thinking, but Juliet, I really do need financial security to be safe. Or something like, I need to know my job is secure. Or even, I need people to like me. And I get that. I used to believe that too. But here's what I've come to see. When we talk about being psychologically safe, that's a very different thing to external safety out in the big wide world. Because the truth is, we don't know what the future holds. We never have and we never will. So it is a cliche, which I'm always, don't really want to use in one way, but we all know the cliche. You could get run over by a bus tomorrow. The thing about cliches, they do actually usually hold a truth. That is why they're cliches. So it is true. We could get run over by a bus tomorrow. And there's no way we could ever know that, whether that would be, happen or not. So trying to control a future or the future is like trying to control the universe. It's a complete illusion of control. We have no control. And that is something that a lot of us don't realize. We're trying to control this thing that's ultimately uncontrollable. And it's exhausting, totally exhausting. And I'm sure you can relate. So all that energy we pour into trying to control outcomes, trying to make sure everything turns out the way we want it to, that's what leads to anxiety and burnout. And I have experienced both of those things. And I know that really a big factor was what I'm talking about today, this future thinking, trying to sort of control this outcome of this future, which by the very nature of life itself, the future is uncontrollable. So the amazing thing is, we can feel safe even in an unpredictable world. It's not the world that gives us fear, it's our thoughts about the world. So when we feel anxious, we're imagining a future that hasn't happened yet, and we're believing the thought, I won't be okay. So the thought is, I won't be okay in this imaginary future that we've just made up in our head. So that's all it is, a thought. And just let that sink in. It's a thought. And we know that thoughts come and go. We are not our thoughts. So the truth is, in this moment, right now, you are okay. You are safe. Hello, I am just going to pop in here and let you know about my group coaching program, which is called The Academy. The Academy is an inspiring and supportive space where I coach like-minded ADHDers. We explore everything about living with ADHD, and you will receive personal coaching and support directly from me. I've been through the challenges of ADHD myself, and I love sharing the lessons that I've learned to help make your life easier. So I'd love for you to come and join our amazing ADHD community and learn and grow together. There's a link down below to join, and I hope to see you soon. And if for this very moment, like a tiger happens to come running in, I know for me, I would move. I wouldn't just sit here. I wouldn't think about it. I wouldn't think, I need to think of the best outcome and how am I going to predict the best way to move. I would just move. And we know that when in the moment, when something happens, if we are actually in danger in this present moment, we would know what to do. We would do it. We don't even need to think about it. Our bodies are designed. They have, the adrenaline that will kick in. I don't know if any of you have ever been in a car when you have a near miss and you feel that adrenaline shoot up your arms and you move the car. We don't think about that. We just do it. That is our body reacting. And we have those resources whenever we need them in the moment. So worrying about a future that we're not going to have those resources is completely pointless, because we will. And the other point I wanted to make about that is, as an ADHDer, the irony is we actually great in a crisis. We have the kind of brains that are very good in a crisis, but the irony is that we then worry about that we won't be good in the crisis. And so I just wanted to point that out as well, that really this future we're worrying about, we know that when the future actually becomes the present moment, you will have all the resources that you need in that moment. So we always deal with what happens in the present moment, never in the future, because the future doesn't actually exist. The future is just imagination. Just to bring it back now, to we already have everything we need within us in this present moment. The past is a memory, which we can spend our, a lifetime thinking about the past and ruminating and thinking we shouldn't have done a certain thing. The future is our imagination. The moment we're in right now, that is all we truly have. When we see that we're safe here, peaceful here, happy here, there's nothing more to do. There's nowhere to get. There's nothing to achieve, to earn it. We already are enough. So the peace that we've been seeking is already here. It just gets covered up by thought. So check in with yourself. Where are you still saying, I'll be happy when? ... You fill in the blank. Where are you saying that? And what would it feel like to let that go, even for a moment, and rest in the truth that you already are? So for me, as someone with ADHD, this showed up in a very big way, a huge way. And so I really wanted to share that with you, because it's not that I'm sitting here saying, oh, I've always felt like this. I haven't. This was a big lesson for me. And I just really want to kind of share the story. So when I became a coach, I felt such urgency to learn everything. So I wanted to have every book on ADHD and every course on coaching, every group about psychology. I would want to join everything, learn everything, philosophy. I had to know it all. And it got to the point where, and this is the thing I didn't realise at the time, that what was actually going on. But now, obviously, I unpicked it because I've had a lot of coaching, which is why I really believe in coaching. I would just look. All I needed to do was look at my Audible library. So all the books I put into the library, which I was excited about on one level because I love learning. But I would look at it and I would feel literally anxiety in my body. And that felt to me like my heart would start beating faster. I would feel adrenaline. I would feel like this feeling of urgency. And I just did not feel peaceful, like the least bit peaceful. It just felt like I needed to read all these books. And it didn't make any sense to me. I'd think, well, why would I feel anxious just by looking at my Audible account? And so I've learned now since then that my brain was telling me that I had to learn all those things to be safe or to be good enough. So it was like, you need to learn all this to be a good enough coach, for your business to be good enough, to be the best you can be for your clients. And I know now that underneath it all, it wasn't even about knowledge, because there's infinite knowledge in the universe. There's no possible way any of us could ever learn everything. Even if you took one segment of that and I just said it about coaching or ADHD, there's no way I could ever learn it all. And that constantly research is changing anyway, and new things are being learned. So it's an impossible goal, but I'd set myself that impossible goal. So like I say, underneath it all, I realised it was never about the knowledge. It was about safety. So it was myself trying to control a future that didn't exist apart from in my mind. And in that future, I was telling myself I was not okay unless I learned all this stuff. And then that's the thing. Both safety and good enough are stories our mind tells us that we'll earn someday. I thought I had to earn it by doing that. And that was just one example. There was many other examples of how I felt I should earn that. And so now what I've come to realise that I didn't have to earn it. I already have it. So it's available right now. The safety, being safe and being good enough, is right now in this moment. Both of those things are here for me. I am safe and I am good enough. And I don't need to do anything to earn that. So can you notice this week when your mind says, I'll be happy when? Or maybe another version, I'll be safe when, or I'll be okay when. And it could be something that's not even conscious. So for me, for example, I wasn't conscious, but the thing that made it conscious was that feeling of anxiety in my body. So you'll have your own version of how that feels. It might feel like an urgent feeling. It might feel like you can't relax until you do this thing, that you can't be at peace, that you can't sit still. Or that you can't stop doing things. So it can take many forms. So if you notice that, and then just, ask yourself, is there a thought under there that is something around, I will be happy when? So, and if you do notice that, maybe you could then ask yourself, what if I could be happy right now? What if I could feel safe right now in this moment? And resistance is normal. Your mind will want to argue back. So sit with it anyway. It is not easy, necessarily. Can be, but not necessarily. But it is simple. And the thing is, a lot of times, especially as ADHDers, we don't think things are simple. We make them very complicated. And sometimes if they're simple, we think they're not going to work. We think, well, that can't possibly be true. That can't possibly be work. How can it be that I have all the peace I need in this moment? How can it be that I'm already safe? But actually, the simple things really are the truth. And we cover that up by making it more complicated than it is. It's like in something that's hidden in plain sight, which is something that I think is an amazing concept. Hidden in plain sight, it's just so obvious. None of us see it until we see it. So if you can sit with that, and if you can just keep reminding yourself of this fact, it's like building a muscle. So the more you practice coming back to this moment, the stronger that knowing, like a visceral knowing in your body becomes. And I can vouch for that because I had it my whole life. And I know how it feels to slowly, become that knowing in my body that I am psychologically safe and I don't have to do anything to be safe. So I want to thank you all so much for being here with me today. If this episode resonated with you, take a moment to pause Feel your breath and remind yourself you are safe right now. You are enough right now. And there's nowhere that you need to get to, because peace was never in the future. It's always been right here within you. Thank you, and I will see you all next week.